Test 1 2, test 1 2, testing 1 2.
One, two.
All right, guys, we're going to start the least guilt portion of our live sale or of the get together tonight, and the first entries will be the Colson Show Pig consignments on the least guilt side only. Guys, will be the least guilts. For us, there's going to be 2 8-liter gilts in here. Those are going to be Stinger, Buckle Up, Romeos, Chelsea. The Stinger Buckle Up Romeos. That mom's a 1st-liter gilt. She was an $18,000 baby gilt there, or big gilt from OYE. Her mom is the Romeo sow that would have made Whittington's Grand at OYE 2 times ago. And then the 9-liter gilt here, she's got a little bit of an ear. Her ear's hanging just a little bit today. It'll be fine. That's going to be a Stinger backdrop. Her mom was the Grand overall gilt at Tulsa for the Bryant family in 2023, I guess. Those litters at the house are really, really good. They've got some really good mate brothers that are going to sell online on February the 4th. And so for us, just wanted to make sure we kept some mate sisters to some of those boy pigs there on that sale coming up. I'll let Bob talk on here just a little bit. If you guys got questions, certainly give me a text, 405-517-3391. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you there, Evan. Evan brought you 3 nice little gilts here to the sale here, and this trio right here I think is very intriguing. They're different, but they're all alike as far as high quality kind of individuals that are really good on their feet and legs. I guess there's a couple of 8-liter gilts there. We'll talk about them behind the 9-liter gilt. The 9-liter gilt is one that's she's evident. She's evident in her rib shape. She's evident to her proper length, front and rear. A stout skull gilt that's really long and level hipped and square from behind. It's a big centered kind of, it looks like a stout, powerful one there. I think one that can make a sow or make a show pig either way, whatever your direction is. The 2 8-liter gilts are very, very intriguing to me. The bigger 8-liter gilt there, the one with the spot in the back of her belt there, is one that is about as square skeleton as you want to make one. Feet and legs are really good. Big feet, big feature on that one. Yet got a good neck. Good stout skull combo there. I think just a really intriguing gilt there that could make a heck of a breeding piece later on down the road. She's really big-legged, really good looking. One that's intriguing one of the group for me is the little gilt. And if you'll analyze her and get her separated from the other 2, she's the boxy one that's got the look. She's really good up through her front end. She's a gilt that's very, very sound in her skeleton. A gilt that is just proper front and rear on width, and as you analyze her down her top, the squareness of skeleton that she has, the squareness of muscle, a really nice hip laid in this one. This one's got a lot of upside to her, in my opinion. I really like that one as well.
This is the Savage Hampshire lease gilt. They're selling tonight. This is 231-7. This gilt here would be an Eaton Crow. She is a December gilt. So those of you that has been calling and texting and asking about where she can go through Expo. She can go to Team Purebred. She can go to Louisville. And she can show at many of your state fairs yet. So this gilt has a wide window in terms of what all that she can do. To tell you about the gilt just briefly and tell you why that she's a lease is simply the fact of what her mother is. Her mother's one of the 19s. There's 4 of those sows. One of them raised the boar that we call Smoke Signal. Another one raised the boar that we call Twisted Affair. And then one of them raised the Grand Gilt there at Hampshire Gilt there at the Summer Type last year. This one's mother hasn't never really raised one. And the reason being is she's never farrowed in the right sequence from a show pig standpoint, the way that we do it. We like that sow real well. We've kept a lot of females. This one won't be for sale, but she is for lease. She's an Eaton Crow, and then she's out of 19.8.
Yeah, the Savage crew here brings in their least gilt, the Hampshire division here, and that's one thing next year, Todd, you're not going to be able to say is this sow never had one, because I think she had one here, and I think as you analyze this one and what possibilities you could do with this one down the road as far as the show ring and a purebred Hampshire drive, the possibilities are very high in my opinion. One that is very, very feminine and long-fronted, tall-fronted kind of a gilt. It's very feminine in her makeup. She looks like a female. She's sound in her feet and legs, and I think that's where the Savage crew has kind of got these Hampshires in the right direction, is their skeletons are put together right, their feet and legs are right, they're sound, and this one here has got all the upside in the world. She looks like she should at a, an 80, 90-pound pig, and she's one that's got a lot of upside, in my opinion. A gilt that's really balanced and really feminine all the way through her underline, all the way through her front end. Just a really nice purebred Hampshire gilt if you want to go out there and play this summer.
Well, this will be our lease gilt here at Goss Livestock. I do want to make a quick note. It is an extended bidding on SC. So if you guys like one, you probably need to scroll out of this, go bid, come back and watch the rest of them. There is not much time left remaining on that. We started that at 3 o'clock this afternoon, be on SC. Okay, these first two, Ty is on the belted gilt. That would be 21-7. The 21s would be Wild Ride, Party Trick, Proposal. We would have partnered on that grandma with Hawk and McCarty. We kept all the gilts out of that particular litter. This is the first one that has farrowed. The 21s, those that keep up with the program, has always been a lucky year notch. These gilts have not what I would call pampered. They've been on a 16 and just getting fed. They're not real tame. I will tell you, though, I think that this pair of gilts is pretty good. Anna's on 21-4. Ty is on 21-7. Wild Ride, Party Trick.
Yeah, the Goss lease gilts coming in here now. There's a really nice pair of gilts here, mate gilts here, and he talked about the belted one there first, and that one just hits you as far as power through her skull, her chest, all the way down. From front to rear, she comes and goes. That one there gets your attention. A gilt that's really big in her rib shape. She drops in her body. She's really square in a shape to her top. And I wish my pigs coming off the feeding floor would look like this, Blake, because these things look pretty good to me as far as just coming out here. And they may not be whip broke, but they will be soon here. Before they get out of this barn, I'm going to say. But this one here will hit you just really as a powerful kind of a gilt. The good-looking one, the calico-looking gilt here, the spotted-up up-eared gilt, really long and through her front end and her neck and height of shoulders, superb, heavy bone kind of a gilt that you really like from the side profile. This gilt's got some upside to her, and I think she's just going to get better as she goes, and she's really good right now. But one that's square in her skeleton, I think she's one that kind of hits you. It's coming out of the gate, too, to me, from the side profile, and you get behind her, and she's just so square in her hock as she goes away and flexible. Just a really nice pair of gilts.
The next two that we drop in here, the belted gilt would be a 28 litter, 28-5. That would be a Wild Ride, Roll Call, Dirty Secret. Her mother would be a litter mate to the mother of the bear that won the American Roll for the Odell family this time. That sow, a lot like Todd said earlier, we were slow to get that one going, but there's a pig down south that has done very, very well out of that one's mother. He showed there in Colby Christie's camp down south. And this gilt and that sow family resembles the kind that I like in terms of head and just full rib punch. And then the sock-footed gilt, if you guys remember the first get-together we had there in 2024, we would have had the lot one there would be out of this one's mother, the black-legged money's-on pig. This one in herself is a only way Rusty Cage, Roll Call's mom. She's got the look, I think, that it takes and a big ring level. Honestly, I just think she's got a look of quality that makes her fun to look at. This will be 30-2 on socks, 28-5 on belt.
Again, another pair of Goss lease gilts here, and much like the same pair that we talked about earlier, we got one of each kind out here, and whatever your fancy is, or wherever you're showing to, or wherever you're going to, pick your poison, because both these gilts can play, I think, as you get on down the road, on down into the show season this summer. The belted gilt there is one, like Blake talked, is just a powerhouse. I mean, you talk about a stout skull, you talk about a stout forearm, you talk about a stout rib. This one's stout every angle you want to look at her, but yet when she gets her head up and rolls across the ring, she comes together. She's got as much power down her top and her hip as you can ask for one that can move like that, flexible sound on her hock as she goes away. A really, really powerful stout one there. And then you got the one, the white sock gilt here, that she's just elegant. I mean, you get her from the side, and you look at her front end, her neck, and the way she ties in, gets her head up and above her shoulders. A gilt that's very square in her skeleton. She's got the right proper length, the body length. A gilt that's got the right width up front and goes away that same way, very square in that skeleton. Tremendous upside. I like that one extremely well also.
Well, this 31-liter gilt that Anna's on, I'd be lying to you if I didn't think that she had a legit shot down the road, maybe state fair time. That would be an only way party trick 22.5. That 22.5 has won a division multiple times there at the Houston show. This will be a first-liter gilt. She was campaigned by the Frankie family. I'll tell you, she looked a lot like this one, little, just in terms of being tidy with the right kind of skeleton. She is the farthest from Bloomy, but it was either keep her forever or let her get shown and then come back home. And then the 33s here that Anna's on, 3311. The cool thing about that one is she's got 8 brothers. If you guys get a chance to see them here through the preview, that I would say has a potential to be the best litter that we've raised all year. I know she's not the hairiest right now. I know she's not maybe as obvious as her mate brothers that you'll see in a little bit, but the feeding window and the kind out of that particular sow, I got a lot of faith in these 33s. That would be 33-11. Her mother would have just raised Goose, the Supreme there at Denver.
Another really nice pair of crossbred gilts here, to lease from the Goss firm. And what you gave here. Again, quality rings deep as far as the drive that goes on here. And we talk about the 33-liter gilt there and what mother she's out of. And, you know, the guesswork's out of that deal pretty good, I'd say. Looking at her sisters and brothers and her, that's another, she's kicked out another really nice litter here. Really wide open up front. This gilt's just really stout in a rib cage, a gilt that's a good shape, a muscle coming and going. She's stout all over, yet she's got a nice look. Just a really solid gilt, I think, within that pair. Now you get into that little gilt there, and I think she's a 31 liter. That one there, when she comes out, she wants a pin somewhere and towards the top end of the class. I think about 2 steps in, that one there throws her head up and goes rolling across the ring, and she's squaring her skeleton. She's very immature in her look, but yet they got a great look to her. She's got bones, she's got feet, everything's going the right direction. Her skeleton's superb. This gilt. Again, Blake said she may not be bloomy. She will bloom up someday, and when she does, you better watch out, because that one there's got upside, incredible upside, in my opinion.
These next two that come in, the chromed up, wider belted gilt here, target hipped one, that is a Kong on Roll Call's mother, is what she would be. And then this 24-liter gilt that Anna's on is a 24-liter. That is an only way hidden treasure. Her mom would have had Upswing that Laird pictured the other day that they posted on Facebook. Her mom would have raised the Grand at the North Dakota. She would have had a very, very competitive bear there at the Oklahoma State Fair. She kicks them out every time. That thing has got ginormous limbs and really, really good joint work. The gilts that look like this out of Roll Call's mom, the one that ties on there, normally tend to work. They need to have a little more early in terms of muscle, and I think that Kong deal really, really clicked on this particular sow line. We'll let Bob tell you about them.
We'll talk the black-headed gilt, white-bodied gilt first, and I'm going to guess when Dana or Ty or Blake made that decision to bring Rotal's mom to Kong, that they had big things in order and big sights to that litter, and I don't think it disappointed. This gilt here is just super, super good as far as looking at this gilt move across the ring, or flexibility of the gilt. It presents a great look from the side, yet a stout feature to her. That pedigree gets no better. I've watched those Kong pigs sell and this time, and it's been quite exciting. The other gilt out here is one that has some of the bells and whistles that we all dream about. I think the bone, the feature, the foot size of this particular gilt, the way she puts herself together in a pattern that you really appreciate, the quality that she brings, and the shape and an expression that she has coming out of her blade and through her hip. A gilt that's opened up in her chest, a gilt from the side. This looks show pig all the way. A gilt that can do a lot of things, I think, in any kind of setting that you want to go to. Just a really, really intriguing pair of gilts here.
The next two that come out here would be 23-liter gilts. They would be Kong Proposal. Their mom just so happened to sell in the Coronation. Ty and Smoot disagreed with my decision maybe on selling her, so they just sat in the corner and they bought her, and this is their partner gilt. There will be a male here later that I think is very, very interesting. We are actually going to sell a littermate sister to these two that's an absolute standout in our opinion. We wanted to keep these in-house, so we're just going to lease these tonight. These would be 23-liter gilts. The full belted one that Anna's on, I believe, is -5. The one that Ty's on is -4. Maybe a little older gilts, maybe need just a little tender love and care, but they got some interesting parts.
Yeah, a couple of the bigger gilts coming in here that I think have lots of quality offer to the sale here and the lease program. Ones that look like they have the pieces and parts to go on down the road and do what you need to do. The big off-belted gilt's one that is very stout in her skull, big in her forearm, and a gilt, big old tail root on top side of her. Just a nice gilt there, I think, to get along in any situation you want to take her into. And the smaller gilt out here is the really dense haired gilt, really opened up, really heavy bone, got that look from the side, got a groove down her top and a square hip from behind. I think a really nice pair of gilts here.
they're bringing these next two lease gilts. It'll just be a minute. I want to reiterate what we talked about earlier. That is in extended bidding. If you do want to purchase them, I've had a few breeders reach out. The lease program works when you are done showing, they come home, not after their second litter. That has been kind of the text of the day. Well, they can show all the way to Kansas City, and heck, I don't care if you take them to Arizona if you're that good. But they just need to come home before they're artificially inseminated or bred live by your Mishon. This calico that's coming in is a 28-liter gilt, and to be up front with you, I'm a big fan of this one. She is a wild ride. Her mom would be a littermate to the mom of the Grand Barra at the American Royal. Maybe not whip broke, maybe don't have the most impressive fit job, but what she represents is a lot of things that we like when they're little in terms of maturity and bone and foot quality and head shape. And then this belted gilt is a 22. Ty bet me a steak dinner that this belted gilt he thought had a legit chance to win something. It's very obvious she has got way too much right now to be up front with everyone. But I'm guessing something that extreme and that boxy out of that particular sow line. I got a good feeling about that particular gilt. She is kind of a bully in her pen, as you can tell. It's raining and the ditches are full. There's no question. She just needs to be chilled out. I think a really good pair of gilts. I think this calico is top notch.
Yeah, that gilt there that Ty was talking about, that belted one, she's about as crazy looking as you want to make one as far as muscle and shape and width and power. She's one that I think lower that percent of feed down just a notch and just watch her come together. And you talking about a conversation piece, when you take that one out, you're going to have a lot of people trying to figure that one out because she's got some crazy stuff there and can handle it really well as she goes across the ring with sheer bone, foot, power, rib. That one there, when she comes together, is going to be very interesting to watch her come out and see what she can do. The calico is the one that when she comes in the ring, she demands your attention. I asked Blake if we still on lease gilts. I didn't really expect to answer, but he said, oh yeah, we're still on lease gilts. Yeah. Now that one there is special. She's got the fuzz hanging off her feet and legs, and she's got the big feet to go with it, and a big forearm, and just so correctly made. That one there, skeleton's put together perfect. She's got a stout skull and a long neck and a good look from the side. She's modern her body with shape, squareness, length and levelness of hip with a tremendous flexibility. I don't know, how you rank all these gilts, these lease gilts here, but this one's high on my list. A lot of upside to this one.
All right, this will be the Colson Show Pig consignment on the Barra side. This pig is going to sell there tomorrow night, and this is 17-3. He's a wide awake backdrop. His mom will be a litter mate to Bryant Scrand at OYE. I'll be honest with you guys, these pigs are legit December 1s. That's just when we start, and it's pushing it to get those things here. And I would have loved to have seen this pig in another 20, 30 days and in the chip barn, but I think a very, very special one. I think a very, very good belted male pig for us and for the Midwest State Fair run. 17-3, wide awake, backdrop, mom's a mate to Bryant Scrand at Tulsa.
Evan brings the Colson entry in here, belted boar pig here, and like he said, this one here is really elite. I think when you look at him as far as being one that's got a tremendous rib cage in him, with the chest, it's superb, and yet he's got a good look. Legit December 1 pig. If you're ready to start loading your state fair, and even this one here looks like he's got a little bit of growth to him to get there before even that. And then he's got the right frame size. You can make him go wherever you want to. Very versatile kind of a pig. It's sound and square and powerful and shapely. Really good hip and hind leg in this guy. I think just a really, really intriguing one that if you want to get a head start on everybody, and especially the state fair crew here, you could get a head start pretty quick.
These next three through will be Maze and KP here. Our first one here is going to be our gilt. She will be in the sale, not on the lease sale. 39-1 here. She'd be a Carney man, next in line, never before. The never before sow would actually be the mother of the blue bred gilt that Blake and them just sold in the coronation that we bred. That would be the grandma of this gilt. And then Carney man would be a buckle up backdrop there that we had. This will be like the last crop out of him. We sold a bunch of pigs out of him this fall and kind of proceeded on with him through our December aged group. And we brought this gilt. We think she's one that's got a very, very high ceiling, very stout, round-bodied one that's still got quite a bit of look and athleticism. We like 39-1 a good deal. She'll be our leadoff here.
So I think this will be our first gilt that's actually to change ownership here, and she fits right in with those lease gilts. Honestly, gilt with kind of quality. Love the tail root and the levelness of hip of this gilt has on top of her rump there. A gilt that gives you a great look, a stout skull and a long neck and a tall shoulder. One you really appreciate the squareness of skeleton, the way she gets around out here, and very flexible all the way through. Jarrett must be cutting back on KP on what he can keep for sows, because I'm sure this one here fits right in the herd here. But she can fit in your herd, I guess, just as well. This one here is a really nice one.
The next two in here would be our two male pigs. The second rounder, our first male pig, will be kind of the weird belted one there. He's got some black in the middle of his body, kind of chromed up. He'd be 36-2. He also is a Carney man. His mother would be a Godfather, never before, I believe is what she was. We bought her from Mike Steele as a baby pig there. this would be her third litter, and a sow that's done us a tremendous job just throwing pigs that look like this in terms of that type of look and length of hip. I really like this pig's just maturity pattern. I think he looks like a very good state fair kind of a bear. His mother has always thrown pigs that just continue to get stouter, and I think his indicators in terms of just tail root, bone, and foot certainly indicate that he'll be a stout one as well. The wide-belted, chromed up one there on the far side, that's another Carney man son. His mother would be a first litter, next intention gilt that we retained there that some families showed for us last summer. I think this is another one, just in terms of skull and bone, having some broadness. A little immature right now, maybe in terms of his upper body and just his muscle texture. But these things have just really been on chips here about a week or so, and haven't seen too many people, honestly. But a pair of male pigs that we're extremely proud of to offer here at the get-together. Anxious to hear Bob's comments.
Pair of bears here, KP and Mays, and I tell you what, really nice pair, high quality bears here. We'll talk to the black-headed, the white-bodied one first, and that one there is just solid, man. He's got bone, he's got feet, he's got a look, a big ribbed hog. He's got good depth and squareness all the way through his body. He's moderate in his overall makeup. A bear that's sound in his feet and legs. I like that one quite well. Then you get into this little guy here with a spot in the back, spot in his back, and when he gets out here, he kind of excites me. This one here is about as square as you can make one. He's got a great look, the right length all the way through. This one's got big legs and square feet and goes away square all the way, long hip, sound and flexible, and yet gives you a great look from the profile. This one here, I think, has got a tremendous upside. And again, he says state fair time, and I'd be proud to show this one anytime. I really like that little guy.
There we go. These are going to be the Strieber Genetics consignments. First, I want to say thank you to the Goss crew for having us out again. Our leadoff is going to be the traditional belted one here. That's 21-6. That one's going to be Money Moves, Real Talk. The sow's going to be a litter mate to the champion heavy at Houston. Other cross two last year, 2024. The wider belted one here in the middle, that's going to be a modern day next intention. That one's going to be out of Different League's mother. So thanks again for having us. Dig this pair a lot.
Strieber consignments here, a pair of male pigs here. I think he brought you a nice pair here to evaluate. Like he said, that belted one there is really a nice hog as well. If you follow the Strieber program and their successes that they've had, those pigs feed. They don't have a great amount of numbers, or didn't last time I was there, but the quality's very high and get along about as good as anybody. This one here is really sound. He's a big-legged one. I mean, this one's got big feet, big bones. As you analyze this one, he's opened up in his chest. He's stout skull, but yet got a great look. Just a really, really nice bear there. That would be the full Bethel one there. The other one, the wider. Oh, he's a double crip. He'll guarantee him through surgery. Double crip, guarantee him through surgery. The wide belted one here is a fancy one as he gets out here and gets his head up and rolls across the ring. Skeletal qualities, superb. This one's got the right length of body, the right look up front. This bear is really square out, or Boar Pig's really square out his hip and his rump. I think just a really nice pair. Pick and choose. You state fair, you want to go a little earlier. It doesn't really matter. These guys are going to fit most windows. I think just a really good pair here Strieber's brought you.
This would be the first 2 out of 3 consignments for Hawk and McCarty. The one that Ann's on would be a all-out right one timber. The sow we would have bought from Trace for $22,000, I believe, at Lackey's farm sale. That one Sal would have raised the Reserve Division 2 at Expo and the Supreme at California State Fair at Higgins. And I believe the litter previous to that would have raised Reserve Middle at Fort Worth. The one that Lex is on there, the 3.8, is a Kong 99 Problems Snafu, I believe.
Well, they brought you a pair of them here and a pair of nice ones. I'll tell you, you look at this pair here, and they once they hit the ring, they're ready to rock, guys. They're ready to go next weekend if you want to, and these things are built superbly. You get the calico-looking pig there, Anna's on, and that's one that's just built. He's built for speed. He's sound. He's square. He takes a big stride, big feet, big legs on that one with a long neck. That one there has got upside all the way down through there, and one that you just really appreciate the way he's put together. Then you talk about the belted one here, and this one here, man, he's got a lot of cool stuff, and in one package. This thing's got a rib in him. This thing's moderate in length. He's stout in his skull. His skeleton is built as about as good as you want. He's got the big legs and the big hair. He's sound and square as he goes away. He's square out his rump. This one here, I think, is a big league player, in my opinion. But both these bears are really, really nice. They brought you a nice pair here to evaluate.
This will be our last one viewing. It's actually our lead off. This would be a mate to the calico that was out last. All out right one timber from Trace. Sal raised the Supreme at California State Fair and the Reserve Division 2 at Expo, I believe.
Again, no different. The gilt comes in the ring, and same quality, same pattern as the 2 barrows we looked at. This one's very good on her feet and legs as well. Very good looking, very good shape up high, and she comes and goes with proper width front and rear. I think a really, really nice gilt here to be able to own.
So this is the start of the Savage consignment. We'll start with the 2 bigger gilts there. Those are 227s. These gilts here actually are out of one of the 19-liter sows there that we have at the house that happens to be the mother of Arrowhead. She would be a sister actually to the mother of the gilt there that the Garland family showed that won at Louisville last year. Then went on and sold there for that young lady for like $28,000. So she was the high selling Hampshire gilt there for all of 2024. These gilts here are sired by Eaton Crow. This is a litter that we've been extremely excited about and fond of. And I told Big Bob earlier there that the gilt that we was leasing tonight, we've never let any of those go, and that is the deal. We've never let them go, and we are going to sell these here. So not only from a standpoint and an opportunity from those of you from a breeder standpoint and perspective, but those of you that want to show them all summer and run them across them green shavings there in Louisville and then cash them in at the end of the day, those are usually pretty much the easiest thing in the world to sell is Hampshire gilts. And with these, the way they look, the maturity that they have, what they represent, and then also when you see what the value is there when you're done, it's absolutely amazing typically when you're talking about Hampshire females. We're really proud of them. Proud of these two, particularly. It's 227.5. That's the gilt right here directly in front of me. And then the other gilt there would be 227.9 going across. The smaller gilt there is a 229. That's a 229-4. That gilt there would be one of the first ones that we've had, first litters we've had out of the boar we call Remedy. That's at Top Cut. We bought in with him last year. He stands there. We've been really excited about the market hog potential in those things, just in terms of skeletal width, base width, shape, muscle. If you've got an opportunity to show a purebred Hampshire and you can show one in a market class somewhere this summer, I'd say definitely have that one on your list.
Again, the Savage crew stamps these Hampshires, and you can count on one thing when they bring a Hampshire out, or if you watched any of the Hampshire shows in the last year, these things are above and beyond as far as skeletal correctness. They've got them stamped, and these things are built right. They can move on their feet and legs, and that's one thing I see consistently within this herd. Each time they drop one out, you really get you a lot of consistency there as far as feet and leg soundness, particularly in this breed. I think that's very important. The two bigger gilts are the feminine kind of gilts that look like they're going to make tremendous sows and tremendous show pigs, long-fronted, tall-shouldered, sound gilts that just give you a lot of femininity look to them. I think as they go across the ring, Todd is getting his number, and the guys there at Savage are getting their numbers up, I think, a little bit, and allowing to share some of these genetics with you. It looks to me at the point that sow herd's getting pretty stout, and the numbers are probably getting high, according to Donnie. So certainly you don't see Todd letting go a lot of this stuff, but he's starting to share with you a little bit. This would be a great opportunity on this pair. It doesn't matter which one to lay in here and lay you a foundation in your Hampshire herd. Now, he's talking about market hogs on this little gilt, but I'm going to tell you one thing she's got that I haven't seen in many Hampshire hogs. She's got rib and body. And that thing has got a massive rib and massive flank in her. She's stout all the way through. She's stout in her muscle, of course, but this one gives me female making abilities here through the center portion of her body that some Hampshires may not have. She's big boned. She's stout. This gilt's got a lot of things. She's versatile. I agree you can make market hogs, but I also think you can make a boar. I think she can make a tremendous sow. So light into these purebred Hampshire gilts here. They're sharing some good quality with you.
This first pin here, we're going to run quite a few males at you there, and This first pin here we'll start with is this pig here right in the center of the ring. Is 227-4. This is probably the smaller, one of the two smaller barrows that we're going to offer to you there tonight. And that 227 litter, we just talked about them. I mean, that's Arrowhead's. I'm sorry, that is Twisted Affair's mother. And then this thing is out of Eaton Crow. And those of you that like the moderation, the bold, the wide, the stout, the square ones, like me and Big Bob do, I'm going to tell you, you're going to dig this one. And this is one I think that you can show there come Expo time, but I think he could be very competitive come, Team Purebred, summer type, wherever you want to go right in there. I think he can last and go all summer. This thing, the 227s, the males, they still have their testicles in them, but they are selling them as barrows. We kept every one of those pigs because I was determined on which one of the boars I was going to keep. But those pigs are going to sell, and they're sell as barrows only. We will show you one later tonight before it's over that can be a boar option, but none of these here will, and particularly out of the 227s. That's him. The bigger barrow there here in the middle that she's on now, that is a 230-2. Again, that's another one of the pigs that's out of Remedy. His mother would be a Top Gun sow, and those pigs feed out of her every time. I mean, in terms of just skeletal width, power and shape, and a market hog look, I think that thing has tremendous upside to him. Everybody wants to talk and ask about the size and where we're at, and I'm just going to tell you, if you plan on showing at the Pork Expo or you showing at Louisville, this is the size Hampshire barrow that you need, and we've learned that in time. We've learned that to be competitive and to get them things as mature as you want to get them and still set on them, time is your favor and your friend, and that's exactly how that we think and we see that these are being fit. The 229, the one here that we haven't talked, that'll actually be our leadoff. That pig there, again, he's a Remedy, and then he too's out of one of the Top Gun sows. Love that one, just in terms of just extra bigness, extension, but still having some skeletal width. He's got a massive, massive shape to him. I think he gives you show barrow look. He's got all the indicators, I think, that can make a very, very good big one. He could look good this summer, I think, Bob.
Yeah, I agree. That one that he just talked there has got a Hampshire back in him. He's got a groove, and it's widespread all the way down. But he's got a look that goes with it. Good bone structure. That one there, I think, can make a tremendous Hampshire barrow come Expo time, summer type time. That pair of barrows there, those bigger barrows, I think fit that extremely well and will be extremely competitive. The one I asked him about when I walked up in the barn here, he's got a little guy in here in between these two big hogs, and I said, "What's that little one?" And he said, "That one's a good one." And then he gets out here, and I'm telling you, he's a good one. This one's opened up. He's got shape. He's got muscle. He's got look, and he's got a rib and a body, and this looks like he can go out and compete. To me, I don't know what boars he kept out of this litter. This one would make a boar, but he would also make a very, very competitive show barrow in the Hampshire breed. So if you're serious about getting after it come state fair time, I'd probably look him up as well. These two bigger ones are going to be awful nice come Expo time.
Next pair here coming into the ring here. We'll talk the predominantly wide belted one here first. Is 229-2. This pig. This is one of my favorites, I guess, of the group in terms of just boldness, stoutness, extra shape and muscle. Again, he's sired by Remedy, and I just think that those pigs are going to just they're going to have great market hog shape and muscularity about them. Love the dimension, the extra density that they have to them in themselves. The boar pig there that's in the ring, that's in the center, that'll be that's going across here. That's the 228-1. That's the only pig that I'll offer to you that can still sell with the boar option, and there's a reason why. He's out of a boar. We used some frozen semen that Chad Hill had from a boar that Earl Dotson had raised, and I like that thing real well. We used him 2 years ago. He made our supreme overall Hampshire gilt there for Scott Smith and his crew there at Dallas. That is one of the best sows that we have now. That is a daughter of that boar. We went back and then we bred that particular boar to what we think is one of our best sweet-looking sows. This pig right here has absolutely no Top Gun, no chatter, no hands down, nothing in it. He is truly built for as a complete outcross to anything that you can find out there from a Hampshire standpoint. We bred them to make females, and that's what we kept. I'm not going to tell you that pig won't make a barra, but I do think that pig has great validity for somebody down the road. I know I've talked to a few of you periodically about that, and this one, there he is, and that's what he is. But just study one. If you have interest in that and you want to know what feet and legs look like, you want to know what a proper hind leg looks like, and great flexibility, that thing puts it together about as good as we can do, and I like them. But the muscular barra there is 229, is the 229 pig there, and then the 228-1, that'll be the one that we offer there as a boar pig.
Yeah, Todd, I agree. That last one you talked about there, I think you need to study this one, especially if you're a Hampshire breeder. I think I can see the pieces in this guy, and I can see the value, what he would do for a boar. This one's different looking. I mean, he's different in a good way. Got a massive back and a massive rib, good feet and legs. He's got just a little bit different look, and that outcross. A lot of people don't pay much attention to that, but you will someday because you're going to breed yourself in a hole if you don't. And this one here is wide open. And when you cross that old stuff back on some of the new stuff, it just crops out. I mean, you just double your quality or triple it in one shot. So pay attention right there. Don't let that slip through the cracks. I can see a lot of value and a lot of hard work in that one, and I understand exactly what's going on there. And I think they're going to share it with you, and you can sure benefit because you don't see it every day, but take advantage of the opportunity. You want to go win bear shows? Look at this other one. Big rib, stout, thick, square, got a groove down his top. This one's got a good look from the side, and I think any Hampshire bear show you want to go to with this one, you're going to be proud to own this one here because he looks to me like he could be a player.
This will be our last pin, and it's a pin that I'm very proud of here. I'll tell you, we'll start talking about the big belted bear there going across the middle of the ring. That is 230-3, and when the photos went up, we probably got more calls about that one as any of them, as people asking about what that thing looked like. And I'll just tell you, I mean, he is as good looking from the side and what you guys see in a picture as you can make one in terms of height and elevation of shoulder. But I tell you what, when you see this guy and you see him down his back and his shape and his muscle and the amount of muscle he has and the way that he handles it, he's got a huge rib cage and a huge skull. I like that one. I tell everybody, I think I put it in my footnotes, everybody always wants to know a short list. That one's got to be at the damn top of a short list. So if you want a Hampshire bear that I think that can be competitive all summer, and do so rightfully, make sure 230-3 is on that list. The next one I'll talk is the other belted one there. That is another one of the 227s, and he is one that I do think that offers a great deal of good, and particularly for the guys that you're going to be showing to this summer. If I was going to go to the World Pork Expo or show it or an exposition, in that Hampshire class. I think I would dang sure want to be driving one that looked like this, just from a standpoint of extra extension and length that this one has. Again, he's an Eaton Crow, and then his mother would be Sister 19.9. That's as good a predictable pedigree as we can put together. We've been very fortunate and blessed to win a bunch here of late, and I'm just going to tell you, I don't know that we've started many that look like that one there. Then there's the black one there, 230-4. He's the green one. We can all see that. He's the pound's lightest one, but just study one in terms of his build, his type, his kind. Again, I've seen enough of these remedies already. I see how they're going to mature. I know what those mature like that's out of that particular sow. I think that one's got a great future and a great day ahead of him.
Yeah, we'll talk this little one first, and I think, state fair time, this one could be hard to handle. He's got tremendous upside to him. This thing's built right, got a great look, got good bones, sound, just a really, really nice one here. I think state fair time, he can blossom and bloom, and you could be a handful there. Talking about the two bigger ones, we talked about that. He talked about that 30-liter, how well Todd liked him, and rightfully so. This one is extremely powerful. I don't know that you're going to get outpowered in any Hampshire show that you take this bear into. Big top, big hip, big chest. Lots of big things about this one. He looks big league maybe even yet at the expo or somewhere like that. This guy has got some power all the way through and handles it to some degree quite well. The other 227 pig here, we talked about his little brother a while ago, and I really like that one, and I can see the same pattern here in this 227 here. This show bear all the way through. I mean, tall-fronted, long neck, sound, square, great in his skeleton, long hip, flexes all the way through. This one here looks like a handful to me, guys. And if you want to get out here and get into the Hampshire bear game and get in there quick and get your name out there, get your kid highlighted, I think this one here, could have a lot of fun with him. Just sit right in there and own that one and have fun all summer.
Well, as we get started here in the Goss livestock side of things, we'll start with this 23-liter barra. This is one of them Kongs out of the proposal gilt that Ty and Sammy bought in the coronation. Left me out of it, but they've had a tremendous run out of this sow. I think her first litter, she has 7 males. The third overall Hampshire Barrett Coba puts like 3 or 4 in the sale or close to it. This sow, I think, is going to be one of the up-and-comers. They're around the farm. This 23-liter bear, I think he's got a lot of neat things. The Kong thing has been very, very popular for the right reasons. I think this hog is so boxy while still being some elevation. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I think that he's just maybe the most perfect size state fair pig, but I also in the same breath would tell you it probably wouldn't be that hard to get him there.
Well, Blake, sometimes we learn from our mistakes. Sometimes our younger sibling can teach us some things. This one here is pretty good, guys, and I don't care what he's out of or what bow or what sow. This one here, when you drop him into the ring, you're going to get your attention. The stoutness of skull that he possesses and comes back into the forearm and bone that he possesses and the squareness of skeleton that he trots around the ring here with the flexibility and a crossbred bear is impressive. He's got a big shape to his top. It comes straight out of his foreloin, out of his blade with big back shape, one that is proper length. And I don't know what you're trying to do or where you're going, but it doesn't matter. You get one like this. He is castrated. I'm sure Ty probably made that decision too to go win a bear show. So yeah, this one here is nice. There ain't no doubt. To find that kind of skull on that kind of body is unique. The bone that he has and the squareness, and then the story behind him. I think you could be awful proud to own this one.
The next two are coming out. The black-headed pig that's coming here eventually would be a 22-liter. That is a Kong. This black-headed one is a 22-liter. That is a Kong out of Roll Call's mother, be 22-4. She has been responsible for a lot of things around the place. She's had two black-headed ones in her life. One of them was Roll Call, and the other one would have been the grand overall at Weld County 2 years ago. And then this belted pig, he is a little skinnier. You guys can see that. He's a 24-liter. He's an only way hidden treasure. His mom would be the mother of Upswing. Power has never been the issue with the 24 liters. To be up front with you, she's probably never had one this wild looking ahead of her blade and so simple in terms of his build. I think he's got a big upside. I think that this is probably one on my sleeper list, Big Bob, 24-1.
Yeah, the black-headed one we talked about first there, that one there, he just gives you a show bear look all the way through, coming in and going out of the ring. And this one here got a great presence to him. I mean, the way he's built, the way he moves across the ring with that ultra show pig look from the side, and yet having a groove down his back is impressive in this guy. And he's one that I think would be high on your list. The little guy out here is the one that I think that don't overlook this one, guys, because I think come state fair time, he's not going to be skinny. This one here is very well built. He's very good boned. He's very sure-footed, and he's got a crazy look above that blade and front through the skull and through the neck area. That thing comes together when he gets across the ring, and those kind there are hard to get around in the end. So I'd sure put his star by him on my list for sure. I like both these bears extremely well.
The 62s would be coming in next. These are purebred Berkshire males. Their mom would have raised a champion Berkshire gilt at Exarban in 5th overall in her first litter. This would be her second litter. These are off the chains, so they would be off the chain out of that gilt. She herself was 5th overall there at Expo a couple years ago. I think an interesting group of them. Ty's on 62-3. Anna's on 62-2, and the little guy that doesn't have a whip on him at the moment is 62-6. I think in this particular trio, I think there's multiple different endpoints, even though they are litter mates. It seems like the Berks that we raise, the bigger ones seem to grow and take off. Maybe the more moderate ones can hang around a little.
Very good trio of Berkshires here, and I think they talked about the two bigger ones and ones you can go with and get after it. The -3 pig has got big legs. He's got a big forearm, big feet that stands out as he comes out here. A big chest in this one and the right kind of length of body. Very, very nice one. The other big pig there is a very good-looking one. He's long and tall through his shoulder and long through his front end, and yet has a great presence about him from the side. And the one that was out of whip a while ago don't really need a whip. He shows himself. That one there, I think state fair time, just get you some. That one there is the way I like them to look as far as immaturity, bone, look, moderation, skeletal correctness, and soundness. That one stars it for me. But all three of these are very, very high quality.
The next two in the ring or would be 27 litter pigs. They would be heavy hitter, buckle up. There were some 17 litter pigs that we had last year in the get-together. One of them would have been 3rd overall heavy at Denver. The other one would have been 5th overall heavy. My favorite thing about that litter is I think we took 5 of them males to Denver, and they were all in the top 5 of their class. They fed good. We kept what we felt like was an extremely, extremely good gilt, which would be the mother of these 27s. Moyer Crew bought their sister as lot 20 in the Coronation. Ottenwalder sells a pig the other day for $14,000 out of this particular sow line. We like this pair of pigs. Good deal. They are so good in their skeleton, and I love their pedigree. Anna's on -2, Ty's on -3. We'll let Bob talk about them.
We'll talk about Ty's -3 first, and this one's stout, guys. It's stout and good-looking both. Heavy structured, big forearm, moderate made, boxy one here. That's big-chested. Both these bears here are built extremely good. That one there, if you like skull and you like shape and you like just overall power, that one there is going to be a handful. The other one that hits me is a show pig. He's really long in front of his shoulder blade and gets his neck up in the air. This one's very sound and long in his hip and sound in his feet and legs as well. A good-looking rascal right there from the side. I think either option you do here, you're not going wrong, but I like both these extremely well.
These next two that come out would be 25 litter pigs. They would be heavy hitter, strictly business. Their mom would be a litter mate to Humphrey's Reserve Grand Barrett Coba last year. Their grandma would be one that we called Collard that he showed. The heavy hitter thing has been tremendous to us throughout, and it's a boar that we keep going back to use. I really like what it does on our sow line. Them hogs feed so honest, and I think my favorite thing about the 25s is they are so genuine, and they have been since they hit the chips. I like this pair of 25s behind them, and they got a proven sow line to go with them. I think an interesting pair. I would certainly say that these are state fair sized.
Yeah, I'd say any size to show these guys. Good pair here, and a little bit different within the litter there, but both quality. I mean, really good quality. Just pick your poison on what you like. But the white belted one there, the black headed one, is one stout rascal. He's stout between his eyes and his skull, all the way back to his hip. He's got shape and muscle and chest power. Big rib in this guy, and he's packing a punch. And if you want to get their attention, just grab onto this guy and run him in there and see what they think. The other one is a little different in a good way, I think. One is tall-fronted. He's extremely long and show pig through his front end. He's got good bone. He's got great feet. But his hip length and squareness and hind leg is about as good as you can lay in a skeleton. This one here's got a great look. I think he's got proper width coming and going. When he gets his head up and he gets to feeling pretty cocky, that one there will hit you pretty good as far as I'm concerned. But both of those two are extremely good. And he is a crip. No bore option, but you'll want to cut that one.
So the next three in the ring, there would be two litter mates and one that's not. The one Ty just grabbed, that will be lot 1 tomorrow night in Weatherford, Oklahoma. That is 33-5. That is an only way, say it. His mom would have just raised a grand overall at Denver. One of them bears that I would confidently say probably top 5 that we've ever worked on. And if you saw him little at the last get-together, this one has probably got even more fuzz, even more bone little. This sow line, the first Denver Grand we had 2 years ago, would have been a Say It Hero, would be a full sib to this one's lineage, if you will. Them hogs just keep coming and coming with stoutness and power. This one's probably got more early feature than any of them that we've had out of that sow line. Anna is on a littermate brother. That will be dash 9. In the same sentence, dash 5 will be lot 1. We will end the sale with the hog that Anna is on, the black-legged only way pig. And then this 31 litter that's here on the far side would be 31-2. That is an only way party trick 22.5. She's had champion reserve at Houston the last couple years. I would say that this daughter is going to hold up in terms of her entirety. He is one of the fattest ribbed, most expansive pigs maybe in the offering. I really, really like this set of pigs. There is 8 brothers to these 33s. These are the first 2 we'll see.
Well, the water gets pretty deep when he turns this pin out for me, and all 3 of these are very, very impressive. We'll talk about that last one he talked about first, and you talk about one that's boxy and big-ribbed and with the look. That one there can play hardball. Shape up high, thickness from behind, and still being square in his skeleton. That one just looks like a barrow that's going to be powerful. He's going to be one to contend with. Then you look at the other 2, and you know, the first one in the ring and the last one in the ring. And that tells you something the way Blake lines things up, because he believes in both ends of this sale. Then the quality runs deep, and in between, there's a lot of quality between these 2. You look at the bigger pig here that I think he's running last, and that one there is got the look, guys. If you're looking for the look, buy this one. He's got a lot of length above that front end of that shoulder, and he gets it up high. And he's got a big chest, and he's got a good look from the side. He's boxy in this length. He's got bone. He's square. He's sound, and he's got a hip and hind leg that you just die for. That one there can be big league. He's got lots of upside to him. A lot of good days on feed there. Really, really like that one. And then the one he's starting with, and I thought, he come in the ring, I thought the great state fair of, and you just fill in the blank, because that one there is going to win something, I think. Big-chested, big-bladed, big-ribbed, still boxy in his overall makeup. He's just got the extras. He's got a lot of extras. I mean, you look at that guy, and he's got all that look and all that boxiness, and yet he's sound and square and powerful. Puts a lot of hard things to do in one package. Have fun with that one as well.
We're going to jump 3 more litter mates to them 2. These will be 33s. The one Anna's on right there, that is lot 2 in the sale tomorrow night. That is 33-4. Ty is driving 33-10. And the last one in the ring is 33-7. They are only way Say It's. Their mom just raised Goose, the grand overall Denver.
Again, the 33s, a trio of litter mates here, and I don't know, Blake. I don't know which one that you buy. I mean, just get one. That's the main goal. I think you're not going to be disappointed. If you're smarter than me and you can say that's the one, then get after it. But if not, just get one bought, because this is one deep litter. All 3 of these guys can do it. There's not a lot of difference. They got the look, they got the bone. We can talk about them individually all day long, but yet you're still splitting hairs when you try to place these guys. They got feet and legs. They've got the look. You're talking about a litter of crossbred hogs that all look alike. They stamped them. Whatever the mating was, it worked. Just get you one bought.
And then there were the blues. Dash 3 comes out first. Dash 1 is a solid blue belt, and then Ty naturally grabs Dash 2.
Well, you don't usually have to wonder about which one Ty likes. He grabs the ones he likes, and he probably does as much work and him and Dana as anybody, so they deserve to do that, I'd say, in their own right. But they just won Denver out of this sow. Just won Denver. This again, 33 litter. We just talked about several of them, and we're still coming. And what a litter, guys! What a litter! I challenge you to get in your pickup and drive the wheels off and find a deeper litter. They're all good. And the one Ty's got there, that Blake says that one reminds him of the one that won Denver, maybe even a few more extras. But certainly a stout-skulled, big-legged one that's got all the extras you want to do in a show pig. That one there is very special. We talk about the bigger pig here over in the corner. Let's talk about him next, Anna. And he told me a couple years ago that the Grand at Denver kind of looked like this pig when he was little. Is that correct, Blake? Just a full sibs the mom. Maybe not just as far along looking at him in condition, but he said that the way these things feed, this one here better not fall asleep tomorrow night, because this one here reminds him a lot of that one. That was an awful nice hog. Then you get the big Bob looking one here that hits me pretty good. We looked at him pretty long back there a while ago, and Blake's really proud of all these hogs in this litter, and he should be, rightfully so. But this one here, guys, has got a lot of upside. You talk about state fair time or whenever you want to go try to get after him. This one here's got the look. He's got the length up front that they're looking for. He's got the bone. He's got the squareness of skeleton. Look at him go across that ring when he puts himself together. His skeleton's perfect. He's got rib shape, but he's a little bit greener, which I like. He's got a lot of upside to him. Mark this one down to star as far as I'm concerned.
We don't sell very many gilts, as a lot of you know that the coronation is our main focus on selling females. Unfortunately, we got enough sows now that here and now it all just depends on our mood maybe. But we want to sell gilts when they're little that we think can perform in the show ring, and just as importantly, make money in the crate. And that belt to gilt ties on is 29-3, and she's got a pretty fun pedigree, Bob. She is a beast mode in-game roll calls mom. I will say that it will be the first gilt that we've offered out of that particular sow. The in-game thing worked here, and it looks to me like this one right here probably comes a little more early shape than most of them in-games. And then we get into the 23s. That would be Ty and Sammy sow. That is a Kong proposal. We talked about her mate brother earlier. You know, this one maybe not as whip broke as some, but she's got the head shape and looks like a show gilt to me. You know, one that can show early and often. I really think that she could hit them state fair marks pretty good. This Berkshire gilt is a litter mate to all them good barras. Looks a lot like Anderson's gilt did little. She had crazy shape and crazy power. The gilt that goes on and wins that Exarban champion in Missouri. Trio gilts, we are selling them. That's not a typo. We're proud of these three. We hope they find great homes. I think you'll have fun showing them. I think their true value lays what they could do in the next generation.
Dana, she's filling me in over here about she does the work, and she wasn't planning on selling these. They pulled a slick one on her, so she wasn't too worried about it. But you know, Blake always told me, you don't sell your top end gilts, they'll come back to hunt you. Well, I guess that's already happened with Ty's little purchase there on that one sow. And looks to me like it might happen again, Ty. Me and you may need to partner on one or two of these, because I think he's slipping up again maybe. The belted gilt, I don't know, guys. We saw all the lease gilts, and we see this one, and this one's pretty special. I think especially as a show gilt. As you look at this gilt, and you can imagine her going through the jackpots and going through the major shows. Where you're going to find one made like this and with that kind of look, and yet that kind of skeleton underneath her. That one there's pretty special. Going to get better every day. That's just a very, very nice gilt. The gilt Ty's got there, the one that out of his sow there, and that's a tremendous litter. And here's an opportunity, guys, to get a Kong gilt, get one out of that particular sow that maybe is pretty special. And this one here just looks like she could do it all day long. A lot upside to that one. Bone, stoutness, feature, look, get in right there. And then why in the world, if you're going to sell a Berkshire gilt like this, I don't know. I'm going to have a talk here lately with somebody, because this one here is pretty unique in that breed, guys. And you talk about one that's got a look to her, that's got a dead level look from the side. She's good looking. Again, Dana don't want to sell this one. I can tell by the way she's driving, but she's opened up good. Very, very special Berkshire female. She's the foundation type, in my opinion. You better get in here taking advantage of a slip up here. But certainly 3 really, really nice gilts.
That'll be the last of the preview here on Walton, and I can't thank the breeders enough, and the people that have reached out, and the people that have spent time looking through them up to this point. Traffic's been good there at home a couple weeks ago. I think a nice little crowd tonight, and we got more traffic tomorrow. The thing that I'm the most proud of is a group of people that come together and bring very, very good livestock to sell in nowhere, western Oklahoma. We did move it a little closer to where people live for this particular sale here in Weatherford. If you plan to come tomorrow night, shoot one of us a text. We will drop you a pin. As Sammy and Bob know, they typed in the address on Facebook. It took them right to the police station. So you might want to be careful. Follow on Facebook. You might want to get a pin, and we can lead you here. I will leave you with this. There's lots of pig sales that go on in the Midwest, and a lot of very, very good pigs have already been sold. I will tell you, on behalf of all of the consigners here, this is the majority first sale for all of us. This is what we have to offer, and we're going to have another one February 27th at the same location. The get-together sales, the pigs have fed. They've fed from coast to coast, and it seems like every 2 weeks you get a picture of something that feeds out of here. At the end of the day, it's a farm sale. They are not pimped on. They are not whip broke. They don't have maybe the extras in terms of the way they're presented as some sales. But if you come here and purchase a pig, I promise you one thing. If you text any of us, we would love to help you. And the second part is, when you take them home, they will get better. So thank you for tuning in. We certainly appreciate it. If you need anything, reach out to us. Kennedy Ventures, Walton, CCI.live, there tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Weatherford, Oklahoma. If you need to get here, drop us a pin. Thanks, Big Bob, once again. Appreciate your friendship.